Hi ladies, it's Mr. O'Sullivan. Today we're going to look at lesson 4-2, adding and subtracting polynomial expressions. Today's learning target is, I can simplify a polynomial expression by using addition or subtraction. Just to give you the heads up, these notes right here are from Friday's lesson, so if you would like, just go back to the 4-1 video and watch those. We'll be going over this in class, but just go ahead and watch the 4-1 video. So there is a procedure for adding and subtracting polynomial expressions. It's actually relatively straightforward. All you're doing is figuring out what your like terms are, matching them up, and then combining them. So you can only add or subtract like terms, and when adding and subtracting like terms, you can only add or subtract the coefficients. Nothing about your exponents will change. So if you have an x squared, you will end with an x squared, and so forth. Okay? Use different colors, shapes, or underlines to show that you have a pair of like terms. You're going to see me color code everything today. And then write your final answer in standard form. Highest exponent first, constants last. So when you're adding polynomial expressions, these are the easiest. You add the coefficients and then put your answers in standard form. So what I do is I actually rewrite the problem and I drop my parentheses. So in this example, I have 6x squared plus 5x plus 3 plus 2x squared minus 4x plus 7. I'm going to rewrite that, but drop my parentheses. So 6x squared plus 5x plus 3 plus 2x squared minus 4x plus 7. And I always just start with my first term. I have a 6x squared. I have to ask myself what a like term with my 6x squared is. It's a 2x squared. And I always carry the sign attached to my number. So now I ask myself, what's 6 plus 2? It's 8. So I have 8x squared. Now I ask myself what a like term with my 5x is. It's a minus 4x. So I do 5 minus 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. So I end with a plus 1x. Now I look at my 3. I combine that with a 7. 3 plus 7 is 10. My final answer is 8x squared plus 1x plus 10. Now let's look at our next example. We have negative 4k to the fourth plus 14 plus 3k squared plus a negative 3k to the fourth minus 14k squared minus 8. I'm going to drop my parentheses and just carry the signs. So for this example, I have negative 4k to the fourth plus 14 plus 3k squared, drop it, minus 3k to the fourth minus 14k squared minus 8. I'm now going to go ahead and identify my like terms. So I have to ask myself what a like term with negative 4k to the fourth is. Well, I need to look. No k to the fourth, no k to the fourth, k to the fourth. Combine them. So negative 4 minus 3 is negative 7. So I have negative 7 k to the fourth. Now I ask myself what a like term with my 14 is. Well, a like term with my 14 is minus 8. 14 minus 8, if I remember correctly, is 6. So I have plus 6. And now I have 3k squared minus 14k squared. Well, 3 minus 14, negative 11. So I have negative 7k to the fourth plus 6 minus 11k squared. But here's the issue. We need to put our answers in standard form. So this 6 has to go last. This negative 11k to the square has to go second. So I have negative 7k to the fourth minus 11k squared plus 6. And that's my final answer. Now, subtraction, that's going to follow a different rule. Keep, change, keep, change, flip, whatever you want to use, as long as you get the question right and you're not photomathing. So if I look at this problem, I'm not going to go over this rule just yet. I'm going to do that when we get down here. It says subtract the following expressions and be careful, and we're going to be careful. So how it works is you keep everything in your first set of parentheses the same. So I'm going to do 4n minus 3n to the third. Now, I'm going to change everything. So I have this minus, and I'm basically distributing this minus to each term on the inside of that parenthesis. So this positive 3n to the third becomes a minus 3n to the third. This plus 4n becomes a minus 4n. Combine your like terms. What's 4n minus 4n? Well, that's 0n, or you can just say they cancel each other out. Now, negative 3n to the third minus 3n to the third. Well, negative 3 minus 3 is a negative 6. So I have negative 6n to the third as my final answer. Now, for the next one, again, 3a squared plus 1 minus 4 plus 2a squared. We drop everything in this parenthesis. So I have 3a squared plus 1. You distribute that negative, and when I'm distributing that negative, I just change everything. So that 4 becomes a minus 4. That 2a squared becomes a minus 2a squared. Now I'm going to combine my like terms. 3a squared minus 2a squared is just 1a squared. And then I combine that 1 and 4, well, negative 4. 1 minus 4, minus 3. So my final answer is 1a squared minus 3. Number 3, again, we just keep everything in that first set of parentheses the same. We just drop it. So I have 5a plus 4. We carry that minus to each term. So that positive 5a becomes a minus 5a. That positive 3 becomes a minus 3. We combine those like terms. 5a minus 5a cancels. 4 minus 3 becomes 1. The value of that expression is equal to 1. Now, number 4, from comes first. If you are subtracting, you see the phrase subtract from, your order switches. So we are subtracting 10x to the fourth plus 7x plus 5x to the fifth from negative 7x to the fifth plus 14 minus 2x. So this you're writing first, and this you're writing second. So I'm doing negative 7x to the fifth plus 14 minus 2x subtract 10x to the fourth plus 7x plus 5x to the fifth. Now, we're going to rewrite it by dropping everything in the first one. So I have negative 7x to the fifth plus 14 minus 2x. And now I'm going to subtract. But I remember I changed the sign of everything. So this 10x to the fourth becomes a minus 10x to the fourth. That 7x becomes a minus 7x. And that 5x to the fifth becomes a minus 5x to the fifth. So now I have a negative 7x to the fifth. What is that a like term with? That's a like term with negative 12x to the fifth. Ask myself what a like term with my 14 is. There is no like term with my 14, so I just have a plus 14. What's a like term with my minus 2x? Well, it's a minus 7x, minus 2 minus 7, minus 9x. And then there's nothing to combine with negative 10x to the fourth, so I rewrite it. But now I need to put it in standard form. So my negative 12x to the fifth is going to stay exactly where it is. My minus 10x to the fourth is going to move up front. My minus 9x is also going to make a little change. And then my plus 14 ends off the expression. And that is how you subtract polynomial expressions. If you have any questions, email myself or Ms. Townsend.